when Greg went to Rowley's house, he has to pass in between Freddy's house, and he does not like him, so he has to pass in the ditch in the sewer. So when he was coming back, his mom smelled him, and so his mom talked about him growing up and how, because you know
His
he
mom
grew up to stink.
is
Yeah,
a dog.
yeah. So it talks a lot about
Puberty. So that shows
Puberty.
like what?
that shows that
He's
growing
cool.
up.
Yes.
He's growing up
Where do you see coming of age?
everywhere. The whole book is he grows up, then one part is a kid, he's a baby. Then he grows up, then he's a baby. Yeah.
He grows up and then he's a baby. That
Yeah,
doesn't
look,
make
no,
sense.
Okay.
He pees and then he misses the toilet.
Are you
kind of baby? Yes, I'm done.
Okay.
My
So
child
my
is warm.
book is Geronimo Stilton and the Dragon
It's cold.
of Forestry. This is the cover page. So the book is basically about this mouse. His name is Geronimo Stilton, and yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't really say how old he is, but he goes to this place that in the book they call the land of fantasy. Yeah, the kingdom of fantasy. And in this book, there's this place where there's dragons, and someone stole the dragon egg, and the dragon egg only comes in 1,000 years. So he doesn't really know what to do, and as himself, he sees himself as not a brave person at all. He thinks that he's a total scaredy mouse, and he's not really brave. But then in the story, the princess of the dragons, this one, asks him to try to help them find the dragon, and he says yes. So this is kind of where the part when he says I'm a scaredy mouse all the time, where it breaks, because now he's suddenly like saying, oh yeah, I will help you save the whole kingdom of dragons, and I'll help you save the the generations of the future dragons. And I think that that's a really big thing in this story. So my biggest theme in this story is relationships. In relationships is a really big part of the story, because even as you could see inside the cover page, they like became friends, even though they barely even knew each other. And as he goes to the kingdom, he is known as the 12th Knight. The 12th Knight is known as the knight who save everyone. So on page, I'm not sure where it is, but on page, I didn't read it. Oh yeah, on page 28, it shows. Guys, on page 25, it shows that he went to bed after a really long day, and then suddenly a big golden dragon comes with his friends, the Scribble Hopper. That's his friend. And once they go into the Kingdom of Fantasy, the Silver Forest of Dragons, there's a fire there, and they have to save it. So, my other theme is alliances. This is a smaller part of a smaller theme, because it's shown only in some parts of the story, such as in the beginning, the middle, somewhere in the middle, but I think it's more to the end than in the middle, and the total end. In the end, there's a big fight because a big fight between Cackle the witch, um, the 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 prince, the army of elves and the army of silver dragons and the army of the bad dragons and the army of trolls. They all fight against each other because of the dragon egg. The trolls are communicated with one of the dragons that said that he was a good dragon, but he really wasn't. My very small part is truth, because that's the part where I just told you that he said that he was part of the group, but he really wasn't. That he was just lying to them. Another theme, bigger than alliances and truth, and a bit smaller, lot smaller than the relationships, was good and evil, because the the dragon who lies to the princess of the dragons, steals the dragon egg and brings it to the trolls. The trolls are the really bad people in this story. So the reason I chose relationship as my biggest is because it comes along very consistently in the story. For example, Geronimo goes on his quest. He meets a lot of people that he just wants them to join their group because he knows they're going to be helpful. And then as the story goes on, they become really good friends. Good and evil. I chose this because it comes in the beginning of the story. But as the story progresses, you see good in the beginning of the story. But as the story progresses, you start to see real evil. Because, for example, the dragon egg is stolen. This brings me to the next thing. Truth. Truth is found in the beginning part of the story. My literary luminary is page 28, paragraph. This is innocence. We flew through the skies. Mad golden, the sky was golden by the dawn. I have to say, it was really amazing sight, even for a scaredy mouse like me. On page 22, even innocence. That evening, I dragged myself home. I was so exhausted that as soon as I hit the pillow, I was out like a light. Page 81, paragraph 1. I'm afraid. I must tell you something. Terrible news. The last dragon egg has been stolen. This is where the news, a huge part of the story comes. Page 279, paragraph 2. I was crushed. My friend was dying before my eyes. I had to do something. But what? Then I remembered the special vial of water in my bag. The nymph of said, just one drop can give strength. 2 drops, one drop heals wounds. 2 drops give strength. And 3 drops brings youth. Quickly, I tried to pour 1 drop into Thunderhorn's mouth. But Cackle arrived, and my paws began to shake. More than 2 drops fell into the lip. There was a flash of light, suddenly. Instead of the white deer with the golden horns, young elf prince stood before me. You have broken Cackle's spell. This is the part of coming of age, because he just saved one of his best friends from dying.
Thank you very much. So